Yo, yo, yo. What up, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday, dudes and dudesettes. Hope the weekend's going well, man. Dude, we've got the news, as always. I guess we'll try to play some Killing Floor 2 today. I don't know. I didn't quite figure out exactly what I wanted to do yesterday after I was able to sit down and start trying to kind of work on stuff. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, man. Killing Floor 2, we'll probably try that out and see how it goes. There's always the chance we can get into some other stuff, but I wanted to try to do some community things. We had discussions about different kinds of community games to try and play. We'll keep tossing around ideas and see what we can get into, you know what I mean? And I want to keep with the horror theme, obviously, because we're in Scaretober here, but I want to try to play some games that maybe other people can get in on, community members, and try some stuff out. We'll keep tossing around ideas and see what we can get into here, man. So there's options. There's options. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. We'll try out some Killing Floor today. Killing Floor 2, see what that's about. We'll see how the rest of the weekend goes, and we'll try to get a better plan going for what exactly we're going to do next weekend, okay? But it'll be a good day no matter what, dude. It always is. So let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's get in here and start addressing this video gaming news segment for today, Saturday, October 7th, man. That way we can go play some video games afterwards. Cool? Let's do it. Yeah. We jamming, yo. We jamming. We've talked enough about that. Amazon now lets you buy games on its cloud gaming service. We'll see what that's about. Let's get rid of some sports stuff. How about that? The Gamba. Yo. Okay. Yeah. So that I think hit yesterday, actually. There are a couple of new free games on Prime Gaming. And one of the big ones here is Ghostwire Tokyo. So there's no real need to pull up this article. Basically, what you need to know is that if you're a Prime subscriber, you also get access to Prime Gaming, which means that you get access to monthly giveaways for in-game content for all kinds of different games, as well as they give away free games every single month. This month, they're kind of kicking it off with Ghostwire Tokyo, and what was the other game they're giving away? I can't remember off the top of my head. But they're giving away a number of games. It happens about every single week through every month. They give away a number of different titles. To begin October here, they started it off with Ghostwire Tokyo, which, if you don't know, is a game out of Tango Softworks, who also did the Evil Within games, which are bangers, and most recently Hi-Fi Rush, which was amazing also. I haven't played Ghostwire Tokyo. It reviewed pretty well. I don't think that people were as high on it as maybe like Evil Within, but I think across the board most people thought it was pretty decent. So you know, it's definitely something you should be going and picking up if you're already a Prime subscriber. If it's something you're interested in having and you're not a Prime subscriber, Amazon Prime, then look into doing a little research about how you might be able to get a month or two of free Amazon Prime access. You might be able to scoop up the game for free through a free trial or something, but you'll have to look into it. Since we're on the topic of free games, let's go here and take a look at this. Godlike Burger is free right now. It'll be free through the 12th, and then it will transition over to being Blazing Cells Battle Royale and Cube 2. Cube Ultimate Bundle, excuse me. It's the Cube 10th Anniversary plus Cube 2 Bundle. So these will be the games that you'll get for free next week starting on the 12th. Okay, so go get your free games. Yeah, I kind of figured they would already have this done, but let's see what they're talking about when Microsoft is hoping to have this Activision Blizzard deal fully closed out by. Now that the UK issue is also taken care of, that was the last real big hurdle. So we'll see. We'll see. Wait, what? The Last of Us 2 remastered? Bro, this game is just over 3 years old. What are they doing remastering this? Like, can we also just take a moment to talk about how, you know, Naughty Dog is willing to remaster a game that's 3 years old, but Rockstar's not willing to even remaster a game they re-release and port that's 13 years old, and yet they want to sell it for $50 in Red Dead Redemption? What's going on, dude? What's wrong in I mean, with this picture? You know, can somebody explain to me what is going through these developers' minds? Naughty Dog's like, well, The Last of Us Part 2 has been out for 3 years now. It's probably a good time to go ahead and remaster this bad boy. Dude, I don't know that they're going to be able to make it look a whole lot better. You know, like, do you remember when they did The Last of Us Part 1 remaster? Everybody was like, you know, it's not a whole lot different. A little bit. Was it really, you know, worth it? But The Last of Us Part 1 was quite a bit older than this. This is weird. But we can't even get Rockstar to flip and do a remaster, let alone a complete, you know, overhaul of Red Dead 1, 13-year-old game. They just port it over and make people pay $50 for it. What's happening, dude? Oh, Jesus Christ. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile has been pushed back to next year. Take a look at that. Okay. Well, now I'm interested in seeing how long. Yeah, yeah, dude. As above, so below, right? Yo, Timon, what's up, dude? Yeah, I don't understand, dude. Yeah, this is, I think, just another example of, developers being scared, dude. It's like, yeah, why do anything new when we can just take our game that's been out for only 3 years and we'll just remaster it instead? Why do anything new? We'll just remaster everything we have. It's only been out 3 years. Yeah, we'll just remaster it. It's like, what? What, dude? What? I mean, we've talked about this kind of stuff a lot. Jesus, it's flipping terrible, dog. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. Rockstar's, on the flip side of that coin, Rockstar is just as disgusting, though. They want to drop a port of a 13-year-old game that didn't even have increased refresh rates, or frame rates. You know what I mean? And they sell it for $50 a pop. Bro, get bent. So how stupid is that? Like, I couldn't believe it, dude. In a game that deserved to be at the very least remastered. Red Dead 1's an amazing game. And they're just like, yeah, we'll just, just go ahead and just port it. Don't worry about doing anything to it. Just port it. And then make everybody pay about what they would pay for a remaster, or close to what a remake would actually cost them. I was like, wait, what? And the thing that sucks is that people paid for it. It's like, what's wrong with people? It just blows my mind, dude. I don't understand it. So we need to look into how long Assassin's Creed Mirage is actually taking people to get through. We knew this was going to be them trying to get back to their roots of what Assassin's Creed was in the first place, because the previous, especially the previous entry, Valhalla was quite a turnoff for a lot of traditional Assassin's Creed fans felt like Valhalla had become something entirely different than what Assassin's Creed ever was. Not that games shouldn't evolve and everything, but I mean, it really, really, really had turned into something quite drastically different. And very, very, very massively long game. Along with some other aspects that had changed, and I think that Ubi had kind of listened to enough feedback. They're like, all right, let's try to get back to our roots, right? But look, we talk about this kind of sentiment a lot in the video gaming industry. I've talked a lot about it recently because of Bethesda's recent release in Starfield. I think Bethesda has a pretty good recipe for how to serve people a gameplay that allows them to put in as much time as feels appropriate to them, and makes them feel like they're getting their money's worth. Not everybody's good at that. Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, all right, there are a lot of people that like the Bethesda recipe of games. To each their own, bro. You know what I mean? I don't, it is funny to see people defend it so adamantly, because, I mean, even I've said, I mean, really what it is like Fallout in space. I think they've improved on certain aspects of what their gameplay allows. It just maybe fleshed out some of their mechanics a little bit more and stuff, but really it's like Fallout in space is what it is. From what I gather, I mean, it's Bethesda recipe. Really more what I'm getting at is what Bethesda does to provide game players. I'm not just talking about everything they do as a whole. I'm talking about their time frame they give people to complete games. I think they do a really good job at that, you know? So more along the lines of what Bethesda's always done very well across almost all of their games is they provide the game player a solid amount of time to get the main story part of a game done, where it's, you know, usually somewhere between 30 to 40 hours you can complete the main storyline, which is, I think, a real nice sweet spot for people. Not everybody has an abundance of time to soak into video games, and you know, I think that it's that good, nice, sweet spot that makes people feel like they're getting their money's worth too. You know what I mean? So for the people that don't have a ton of time to spend in a game, you know, I think it's doesn't feel too long, you know, but it also feels like a good amount of content, so it feels like you're getting your money's worth. And on top of that, Bethesda's always been really good at providing mass amounts of additional content for people to play into. So, I mean, they're not the only ones or anything, right? But they've been doing it for a very, very, very long time, which is why I use them as an example. And I talk about this a lot. In the AAA sphere of gaming releases, how often do we get games that release at a $70 price point? Also, let's be very, very, you know, upfront about what we're paying for these AAA price tags, and, you know, the amount of content we're actually getting out of what we're the product we're buying into. Yeah, like usually it's like 15-20 hours, you know. I don't necessarily feel like that is worth to me, you know. Sometimes it's going to depend on what kind of content it is and stuff, but most of the time, like 15 to 20 hour playthrough at a $70 price point, that's not it, dude. Not for me, it's not, you know. And I think the thing that developers have to start understanding is that I think there does need to be a better kind of recipe in it, whether you're talking about replayability, you know, for in-game grinding or anything like that, or you know, for the single player campaigns, doing something that Bethesda has done very well at for a long time, like I was just speaking about. There needs to be, I think, something that makes you feel like you're getting your money's worth out of a game. And you know, there's, on the flip side of it, there's definitely games that have felt much too long, too dragged out. We've had so many developers in the realm of open world games get to where they just had this like kind of blind mindset at make it open world, but don't have an actual game plan for open world. So it just gets expansive and massive and really kind of bleak and empty, and it just doesn't feel good. And it can make a game feel real boring, real stale, and just too big and too long and unnecessary. So we've seen both sides of it, you know what I mean? Kazuto, what's up, my friend? Is this a recording? Negative. No. No, it's not a recording. No. What's up, buddy? Yeah, no. This is the way we start off all our streams, man. We talk video gaming news, and then we get into gameplay. What's up, dude? Well, okay, so for what you said, Tinwin, yo, Davey, what's up, buddy? Yo, I'm glad you liked the new montage, dude. I'm glad you liked it. You about to fell out. Word, dude, word. Yeah, good to have you, buddy. Happy Saturday, dude. Hope your weekend's going well. So, Tinwin, I think that, you know, I respect your opinion. I haven't played the game. Did you play Starfield? Did you play Starfield yet, dude? You did? You refunded it? So this is the sentiment I've gotten from I have other friends of mine that have been playing the game and stuff like, and dude, it's absolutely one of those games. I've got VODs out there on the YouTube channel cut out from the news segment where I've talked about this. It's, I think, definitely one of those games where there's not a whole lot of middle ground for people. Either you're really going to enjoy it or you're going to hate it. You know what I mean? From a lot of what I've gotten from a lot of people that have enjoyed the game is that it is a title that you need to sink a lot of time into to really start getting into the thick of it and enjoying it. But if you're not getting at least some semblance of fun out of it, to be able to continue, you know, early on to sink time into it to start ramping up and get to that point, then, you know, there's no point. And I don't blame you for doing what you did, you know. I think it's just one of those respective things. Not every game's for everybody, you know what I mean? 100 hours? Yeah, maybe, dude. I don't know. I never really had a lot of aspirations to play it, to be honest. It didn't, you know, it didn't really appeal to me all that much. I think that, you know, I think that for a lot of people that are fans of the Bethesda recipe, I think that it hit the mark for them. But I think that a lot of people that went into it kind of knowing what to expect, it's been good. I think anybody that went into it expecting maybe some kind of evolution from Bethesda into something maybe greater than anything they've ever done, it's not really there. You know, was it really bad? Really bad optimized? Was it really? I didn't hear about that much. Well, what we're talking about here, Kazuto, is specifically this article that came up here about Assassin's Creed and are video games getting too long? Assassin's Creed Mirage hopes players think so. So what I'm thinking here is that, you know, I mean, we always knew that Assassin's Creed Mirage was kind of the Ubisoft trying to get back to the roots of what Assassin's Creed was originally, because it has evolved into this massive, super long gameplay that like Valhalla was and everything, right? And so they got a lot of critical feedback from fans of the series that were like, dude, this is, you know, this is too much. It's too much. And so they're trying to get back to the root. But now what I'm worried about is like, they're going to make people pay $70 a pop, right, for a game like Assassin's Creed Mirage, and then it's going to be like short. You know, it's a tough thing, I think, for developers to understand where to hit that sweet spot at, you know. Oh, for real, Tinwin? Well, I mean, yo, dude, isn't that a plague of the modern gaming world? You know, dude, we see it all the time, right? Brutal, dog. You know, all the time, brother. You know me, dude. I'm hypercritical about it, dude. I think it's ridiculous the amount of times we get game, dude. One of the most recent things that I talked about on that front was Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor is still a broken piece of trash, doc. And you know, Respawn and EA just greenlit the third one. They haven't even fixed it. They haven't even fixed the second one, dude. It's still broken. I don't know about on console, but it's still a broken all to crap, dude, on PC. And they just greenlit the third one. Why would they care to fix it? It says Star Wars on it, and people are buying it. You know what I mean? Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's terrible, dude. Like, you know, the amount of money these companies make off of these names that they put on the slap on their you know, software, and people buy into it, and it's just hot garbage, dude. You know, there's a lot of these companies that just have to quit being supported. Pinky, what's up, brother? How you doing, dude? How was work this week? So Kazuto, so this is basically the way it pops off for us, man. So we always start off, we have discussions while we go through, and we're pulling out articles right now, right? So we have like general discussions about some of this stuff, and like we'll try to look into this Assassin's Creed stuff, see how long people are saying the game's going to be, or is, you know. But we kind of pull out articles, and we kind of generally discuss it a little bit, and then we kind of deep dive into them after I find all of the articles through our Google search and everything. So then we'll start deep diving into all these articles we find, and we'll talk about them in depth and everything. Cool. So that's kind of the way it rolls for us every morning, dude. We do this every single day, 6 days a week, dude. We always start off with video gaming news, man. See what else we got, dude. That's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about right there. Thanks, Tinwin. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. That's not worth $70 to me. No way. Yeah, just put the game out, take the money, and move on. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, by the way, I mean, since we're talking about EA, a new Vancouver-based EA studio. EA, sorry guys, it's so hard to say that without wanting to throw up. Yeah. Yep. Week's been pretty great. Everyone was mad at higher ups for being completely out of the picture and what's humanly possible to do in a specific time frame. Solid, dude. Sounds fantastic. Great work environment. Yeah. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, yeah, I think that, you know, there's something to consider about what the content actually is, what it provides. And, you know, here's the thing. Like I said before, is there in some kind of like replayability in it? You know, is there some kind of like end game grind? Dude, I doubt it for Assassin's Creed Mirage. It doesn't seem like that type of game to me. You know? I could be wrong. And if the content's just mind-blowing, then yeah, maybe like 20 hours. Maybe 20 hours of just absolute mind-blowing experience would be worth. But I'm sorry, dude. Like, when you take into consideration the difference between something like Larian bringing to the table with Baldur's Gate 3, the amount of content that's in there for, you know, the price tag of a game like that, and then what, you know, Ubi's pushing out for 20 hours of gameplay in Assassin's Creed, there's not really a comparison. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, but you're also not paying $70 for it, dog. Yeah, which is, you know, yeah, well, you know, and I mean, I think that's the thing that we're trying to like, obviously keep in mind here, dude. You know, I promote Tango all the time. You know, Hi-Fi Rush is an absolute banger, dude. You know, that game's amazing, and Tango did a fantastic job. They did provide replayability in that game too. You know. They had a lot of mechanics in that game to provide additional gameplay even after beating the game, which is going to, for people that really enjoy it and want to keep playing it, there's that potential there for people to continue to grind, right? So there's that in there as well. It was a $30 price point, you know? So, wait, TW2, why am I blanking that acronym, Doug? Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know? How long did it take me to play those games? I put 37 hours into the Evil Within 1. And I put 50 hours into the Evil Within 2, dog. So for me, the way I played those games, and obviously hardest difficulty, all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I got plenty of hours into those titles, you know? If I hadn't been streaming them, it probably wouldn't have been quite as much, because you know me, man, I'm always like talking and stuff like that, but it still wouldn't have been close to like 20 hours. So I don't know. For me, plenty worth the price. Yo, thanks for giving me the times to beat on Mirage, though. I was expecting it to be something like that. How good is that new EA gag reflex gif, dude? Bro, I've been needing to get that done for a long time. New Xbox Game Pass deal gives you a free subscription. Let's see what's going on there. Yeah, we're vibing this morning, dude. We're vibing. Some holiday vibes, dude. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go with that. Yo, win the Evil Within 3 though, Tango. You know what I mean? Bro, they need to bring back Stefano. I don't want. Yeah, I just Stefano. All right, let's go to our other search real quick, and then we'll dive into all this. Bow, bow. Bro, me too. Which, I mean, honestly, it taught me a hard lesson, though, about, I wanted the Evil Within 3 so bad from Tango. I was initially disappointed whenever they came out with Ghostwire, and I was like, well, there's no way they're not going to come out with, Evil Within after that, right? And then Hi-Fi Rush, seeing that trailer, I was really disappointed. Which it wasn't fair for me to be like that. As somebody who is always promoting, developers to kind of reach outside that box that they're known for and do things different, show that they're a versatile developer and able to bring different things to the table for us as the consumer and gaming enthusiast. I really sold them short and just was like upset, really, and it wasn't fair of me at all, because Hi-Fi Rush is an absolute banger, and it was great to see them do something different. But I want Evil Within 3 so bad, dude. Yeah. Trailer was kind of bad. Yeah. It's hard for me to remember how good or bad it was, just because I think I was just so jaded by seeing something come from Tango that wasn't the Evil Within 3. You know what I mean? I think I was just I had blinders on, really. I don't think that I wanted it to look good either. So it was hard for me to see anything positive out of it. Even if the trailer was decent, I would have seen it probably as bad, So, I don't know, dude. It's a banger of a game though, dude. It's so good. But it's funny, I was looking at Evil Within the other day, and god dang, dude, it gave me some real nostalgic vibes. That game, those games were so flippin' fun, man. I loved them. Wait, what's this? Dude, I talk about Roblox every once in a while and about how they're terrible, dude. About preventing, I don't know, this might not be what I thought it was going to be about, but man, they're pretty bad about preventing inappropriate content from getting in the hands of kids, which is really what their platform is built for. It's built for an audience of younger people, and they've traditionally not been very good about filtering out the harmful stuff, dude. It's pretty rough. Yeah, we've got this up, dude. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile's delayed till next year now. We talked about the free titles for Epic already. Oh, this is gonna be their new mobile game, isn't it? Wait, what? Oh, it's Ghostwire Tokyo. I just talked about that. Yeah, this is on this is a Bethesda published game. This is Tango developed, dude. I hate that, bro. Why is the publisher the name that always gets thrown out there ahead of the developer? That doesn't make any sense, Doug. Like, I don't know. At the very least, they should be throwing both of them out there. What, because Bethesda is maybe, you know, they think Bethesda is going to be the clickbait title or whatever? Probably. But Ghostwire Tokyo is on Amazon Prime Gaming. You can get it for free, so go grab it. Speaking of Tango, we talked about this yesterday. In depth. More layoffs, dude. More layoffs. I mean, you name it. Embracer, Epic, Telltale Games. It just keeps happening, you know. And I've got a pretty good segment that I'm hoping to have up on YouTube tonight, cut out of yesterday's news segment. Basically addressing, like, actually we had a great, I've been talking about this a lot here lately, like, what are these companies doing, you know, if anything, to try and avoid the drastic measures of firing off so many employees, the people that help them get to the point of where they're at, right? All we ever hear is the default, we care about our fans, we care about our employees, we didn't want it to come to this, but it's hard times, and we've got to keep our CEO's pockets lined with gold, you know. It's always just the same default stupid, you know, quotes that come out from these companies that do this thing, but you never see any kind of actual, like, definitive information about what went wrong. Where have you been investing? Well, what projects have you had gone on that went awry that led you to this point? Or what bad investments did you put into as a company that led you to this situation? Did your higher ups, you know, think about even taking a pay cut or anything like that? You know, yeah, exactly, dude, exactly. You know, yeah. You know, there was a great article yesterday too that summed it up. It was, man, here, I've actually still got it. I'll link it for you guys. Dude, I kept it because this is a great article by Mike Drucker out of The Gamer, and it's actually basically this very well written kind of play on the same crap you hear out of these layoffs every single time. This sums it up very well. I'll link it for you, but it's going to be in the VOD that I'll post from yesterday's news segment as well on YouTube, hopefully later tonight. We've made the very difficult decision to lay off our employees. We've been spending more money than we earn, don't ask about CEO salaries, and cannot sustain this business model any longer. We are confident this is the best decision for our company and you, the community. You know, right, yeah, Pinky, yeah, dude. It's actually a really, really well written. You know, it basically covers everything I just talked about and the things that I've been. And dude, it calls out Epic, it calls out Embracer. Like, it's, you know, it's fantastic, dude. It was a very, very well written article. It's a lot of the same sentiments that I've been covering a lot here lately about these companies, and it would be different if any of them were actually trying to give us some kind of, like, insight as to what went wrong, or, you know, show us that they did everything they could to try and prevent these drastic measures they've taken, and like firing off 16% of their workforce like Epic just did, you know. But we don't see that. All we see ever is like the default general feedback from them. It quotes just like what I read out of that, you know, it is basically like a parody is what it is, like a parody article of everything we always hear. It's like satirical, you know, content that was written to make fun of these companies that just feed us the same bullcrap every single time they do this stuff, you know. And it's very well written. I read it yesterday in about the best, like, kind of sarcastic voice I could, you know, because it just fits so well. But you should take a look. I think it's very, very good. And I'll try to get that clip cut out and up on YouTube tonight so everybody can see it. It's very well written. Wait, what? That's what that is. And this was unlikely Nintendo Switch 2 rumors claim September 2024 release date. I've actually been kind of like expecting something like that, like late summer, early fall for the next Nintendo hardware to release. Everybody's calling it Switch 2. They haven't officially named it that yet. It probably will be called that, but that's not an official name from Nintendo. This should be like air quoted Switch 2, because Nintendo hasn't officially like dubbed it that yet. So we'll see if it's going to be named that. I think it'll be very similar to what the Switch was. Some advancements probably. Nintendo's pretty good about advancements. Very inventive kind of stuff with their hardware. And it'll be hardware upgrades, obviously. So, yeah, well, I mean, I've kind of been expecting them to get a new console out within the next year, roughly, give or take a little bit. And they desperately need it. Their current hardware, dude, is flipping really, really old. It's really underpowered. Red Dead Redemption 2 Vestigia brings PS6 level graphics to the game. What? We'll see what that's about. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see what the hardware is in it. You know what I mean? I think it's actually going to be close to PS4 level, probably. That's kind of rumor mill stuff. That's what I'm hearing. It'll probably be closer to like PS4 level. Look, mobile technology has advanced greatly, right? Here's the problem with what like Nintendo is doing, and I would even say like take a look at what the Steam Deck is, right? Take a look at what the Steam Deck is. You can get a Steam Deck for just a little over $400. That's the price point Nintendo's shooting at, right? Steam Deck's pretty solid hardware for a mobile device. And is it going to be mind-blowing? No. It's a mobile device. They're like doing that tightrope walk between like being consumer friendly as far as price point. We've already heard that they're trying to get it close to like a $400 price point, which means it's going to be lacking in power. And my concern is we're going to be right back into the same exact situation with the new Nintendo console that we were with the previous Nintendo console, or the current Nintendo console, which is the Switch, right? Where 2.5 to 3 years down the line, it's going to be looking flipping dated again, you know? Because it's all about trying to conserve battery life, less power hungry hardware, you know, and ultimately what that leads to is just hardware that doesn't age very well, you know? But to be fair also, I mean, you can see the evolution of like what mobile technology has done from, you know, back whenever the Switch released 7 roughly years ago to what we have now in some of the more modern mobile gaming devices that are similar in like the Steam Deck, even to the more modern ones like, you know, Asus's ROG Ally. But dude, that's talking about like a high-end price point for like mobile hardware. That's not what the Switch or Nintendo's new console's not gonna be of that caliber, right? We know that. It's not gonna be of that caliber. So you're probably talking about something closer to like what a Steam Deck pushes out. You know, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what they're able to get hardware wise, put into their next console at that kind of a price point. You know, bro, you guys, dude. Yo, dude, the flippin' 7 TV emotes are so good, dude. The Halloween ones. Random Moton, let's go. God dang it, dude. They're so good. We'll see what this is, though. Yo, dude, they're still working on Redfall? Wait, what? Hold on, dude. Yo, get these holiday vibes off here. There we go. Yo, we just read an article the other day that was talking about how on Steam for like the past 2 weeks, Redfall had been at single-digit player base for like 2 weeks straight, every single day, single-digit player base. It's probably better on something like you know, Game Pass, but I doubt it's a whole lot better. And I'm sorry, but like increasing the frame rate is not going to save that game, dude. Gameplay changes and more. We'll see what they implemented, dude. But Naughty Dog. Wow, dude. Remastering a 3-year-old game. Jesus Christ, dude. This industry, dude, is just flipping backwards. I don't know what's happening, dude. Steam limited time deal gives you 50 games for just $1. Fanatical deal. We'll take a peek at that. Yo, so we heard yesterday there's a live action adaptation of Cyberpunk coming into the fold for us, which could be dope if it's done well. The Edge Runner series, the anime stuff on Netflix was sick. I finally watched that, dude, and it was really, really good. And maybe we're getting another anime? Potentially. We've already heard from CDPR that they are making. They have like 3 Witcher games that are in development right now. The main one being codenamed Polaris, and then they're apparently working in very, 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 very early development, confirmed for the sequel to Cyberpunk, or the next Cyberpunk game, whatever that may be. I don't know if it's a direct sequel or anything, but they do have all that coming down the pipeline. They've got a lot of stuff in development. And apparently maybe some more anime too. What's this say? being quiet about it right now, but it looks like they're probably planning on another one. Oh, really? Huh? Oh, really, Pinky? I like that you popped your pre-order cherry, dude. I can't believe. I mean, bro, that's a big deal. You're growing up. On that Talos principle too, you know. All right, let's get into these articles, dude. Let's kill this music. Let's get in here. Cool. Noise. Hey, what? Yeah. No, I mean, I agree, dude. I'm not big about it either. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah. There's you know me, dude. I'll do it from time to time, but I've really gotten to where I try not to do it very often either because um, more often than not, I feel like you get burnt, you know, and you know me, dude. I advise people really to like, unless you're really comfortable with a developer and a publisher, I don't think it's worth pre-ordering. Unless they've shown you a pretty good track record of being able to provide solid content, solid performing products, you know, um, out the gate, you shouldn't be pre-ordering stuff. You know, that's kind of the sentiment that I kind of press out all the time. So I agree, dude. I agree, but I'm guilty of it. I've done it plenty of times, and more often than not, dude, it's bit me in the ass, which is why I advise other people to not do it most of the time, unless you're really comfortable with what a developer and a publisher have done for you in the past. You know, if they've showed you a good trend of pushing out good quality products in the past, you know, it's terrible, dude. Here we go. Bethesda has updated Redfall with 60 frames per second mode. What? In 2023? 60 frames? Gameplay changes and more. Uh, the publisher recently pledged to make the shooter a good game. Yeah, we read that article too. Look, dude, I've got an issue with the fact that, like, don't get me wrong, there's something to be said for. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I'm wearing my Buster sword shirt today, by the way. Goes with the music. So you guys know how I feel about that. I think that we've been well beyond the real, you know, there's a difference. The Switch the Switch hardware is constraining, and it's old. It's not nice to developers. It's really hard for developers to get games to play over 30 frames on something like the Switch, right? But when you talk about a game like Redfall or Gotham Knights or you know anything else that gets released on modern hardware, modern technology, and it releases at a locked 30 frame rate, what's wrong, dude? What's happening? Yeah, I know, Pinky, right? Absolutely crazy. It's just mind blowing, dude. I don't understand what's going on in the development process that is, you know, leading these developers to go, well, you know, we're just going to have to release it at 30 frames. And about every time I see that, I go, there's reason to be pretty hesitant about this title. You see 30 frames. You know, if it's being released for modern consoles and PC, and they're going, yeah, they locked at 30 frames. It's like, no, no. What's wrong with your development process here that you guys couldn't figure out how to get this game? And I think part of it is this. I think part of it is there is I think a too much of a focus sometimes on a team being directed to focus heavily on, you know, making sure the game graphically, the graphic fidelity of a game is to the greatest extent possible. So then they fail to actually get to a point where they work on ensuring that the game has options of giving people accessibility to maybe higher frame rates and stuff, right? And it's a terrible thing to see because ultimately, whatever, dude. Other people want to play a game in 4K or whatever at 30 frames, be my guest. But most games, I don't give a crap about 4K at 30 frames. At the very least, I want 60, even if that means I'm playing at 1080p. Okay? I'll take 1080p, 60 frames in most genres. There are specific genres for sure. We talk about that a lot. You talk about shooters, action combat games, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Frames matter. And especially if you ever drop frames, if you drop some frames from 30, it's much more noticeable and game impacting when it happens and you're steady at 30 and you drop. It is rough, dude. As opposed to being locked at 60, at least when you drop some frames, it's not nearly as noticeable. Not nearly as bad most of the time. Unless you just absolute tank down to like teens or 20s or something, So it's just crazy to me that this has been such a huge deal in the industry where so many of these big developers are like, oh yeah, we couldn't get it past 60 frames. We couldn't get it up or past 30 frames. It's like, why? What happened? I don't understand. And then it comes out and it still plays like crap. I was like, what? You got it locked at 30 frames, dude, and it's still balls. What happened? But Bethesda has updated Redfall with they're at 60 frames now and gameplay changes and more. Yeah, they, as the publisher, now understand, Bethesda is the publisher of this game. This was an Arcane game. So they are not the developer, but they are the parent company to the developer that made this game, right? And we did read an article recently where they, probably a few weeks ago, they were pledging to make Redfall good again. I think it's too late. I don't think enough people are really going to care to go back to this, to be honest. But Bethesda has released a promised 60 frames update for Arcane's Redfall and made changes to the game's combat and gameplay. This patch brings a performance mode to Xbox Series X and S, stealth takedowns, new controller settings. Do you mean actually like button mapping? Which is also something that should be default for every game released anymore. Accessibility improvements and much more, Bethesda said. Explore an even more dangerous Redfall with an increased open world, enemy population, and new encounters. Read on for the full list of fixes and additions included in the update. There you've got the full patch notes at the bottom of the page. We'll get there. Last month, Bethesda's head of publishing, Pete Hines, said the company would make Redfall a good game despite an underwhelming reception at launch. Okay, we didn't get the start we wanted. I think that's an understatement, but it's still a fun game. And we're going to keep working on it. We're going to do 60 frames per second. Yeah, he said. Who is this dude? Yo, let's get a picture of Pete Hines. All right, Pete Hines. I gotta put a face to this quote. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah. We're going to do 60 frames per second, Pete Hines says. God dang, dude. We're going to get it to be a good game because we know as a first party studio, Game Pass lives forever. There will be people 10 years from now who are going to join Game Pass, and Redfall will be there. Maybe not, though, too, dude. Yeah. So maybe not. Um, just because this game came out recently and it's a live service type of game that was meant for Game Pass in the first place, really, and was supposed to be a big deal for Xbox as Bethesda being, their subsidiary. Uh, if this game is balls and people aren't playing it, it won't be here in 10 years. It probably won't be here in 2 years. We've seen this happen many, many times over. Um, Live service games die all the time. Most recently, we just saw Marvel's Avengers die off appropriately. And this could be another example of that. I expected them to try to make this better, but what it really comes down to is it worth the investment for them to continue to work on it? They've already dumped a ton of money into this game. Do they continue to just dump a ton more and not get any kind of benefit from it? If it's not pulling in players at all, if the player base isn't growing, even with these things that they're doing to improve it, then it's not bringing people to Game Pass either, which means that it doesn't make sense for them to keep it as a game on the service. So they'll probably just kill it off. Who knows? But if it's not doing anything for them, why would they keep it up? So they've got a bunch of performance and stability fixes, user interface fixes, accessibility fixes or implementations, gameplay stuff, combat stuff, environment, multiplayer. There's a whole list of patch notes down here if you guys want to take a look. Like, I'm not real hopeful for Redfall, It's not like there haven't ever been games that got an overhaul and have become good, but it's rare, dude. It's rare, And usually it takes quite an overhaul, to get it done. And I don't know. I think that you take maybe an example of something like Final Fantasy 14. That game was terrible on release, and it is one of the best MMO RPGs of all time now. I think most people would consider it that in the history of gaming. It took a complete teardown and rebuild of that game to get it to where it's at. But the thing that it has over something like Redfall is a name. Final Fantasy. So having a name like Final Fantasy, it makes it, in my opinion, a little bit easier to rely on the fact that you're going to have people that are willing to come back and try it out again. Redfall means nothing to people besides crap release. That's all that name really means to people, right? So, I don't know that they can do much here to bring people's interest back into the fold to try and get them back into playing this game, even if it turns into something decent. Here you go. Steam limited time deal gives you $50 games for $50 worth of games for just $1. This is a Fanatical deal. The link's right here. Fanatical is a legit site, an online video game retailer that sells authorized game keys, and because it gets these keys in bulk, it can often provide said keys at dirt cheap prices. Latest killer deal from it is only available as supplies last, and right now supplies are still available. The games come way of Double Damage games. One releasing in 2015, and the other, its sequel, came out in 2020. They are Steam Deck compatible. Rebel Galaxy, and this is the trailer for Rebel Galaxy. We'll watch this real quick if you're not familiar. I need a lot of coffee today, a lot of food. What else is new? That's flipping loud, dude. Well, who needs Starfield when you can just play Rebel Galaxy? You know what I mean? Too soon. It's basically any game that deals with space. You just say that now. You know. It's funny. I had a VOD from a news segment where I was just talking about, you know, how many people had basically like switched over to playing. People were excited about Starfield. There was a lot of hype around Starfield, but a lot of people were disappointed. And the disappointed people ended up going. A lot of them went and played other space games, and a big pull was Hello Games and No Man's Sky. They benefited greatly from the people that didn't like Starfield. And I uploaded a segment on it on the YouTube channel. And dude, there were people like really going at it in the comment section. You know, like trolling each other out about the games and stuff, you know. It's so funny how much contention there is, you know, like you could, you know. It's so funny, man. When people hate on each other just because they don't like the same title or whatever. It's so wild, dude. It's so wild. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw as well. I'll let you watch this one. It's going to be the follow up to this game, so you can assume fairly similar, you know. But yeah, so you can get these two games for $1 at Fanatical. I'll link this to you. That way, if you're interested, you can grab those links, okay? Red Dead Redemption 2 Vestigia brings PS6 level graphics to the game. What? One player has added a few mods, which has made the game even clearer than my eyesight. Oh, yeah. Some players just want more, and modders are happy to oblige with a Vestigia mod, pushing the game to 8K resolution. All these boosts allowed the Rockstar title to run at 8K 60 frames, dude. 8K 60 frames. The Vestigia mod overhauls a series of features in the game, including overhauling weather transitions, changing the temperature system, adjusting chances of different weather, time cycle overhauls, visual settings, changes in the wind system, more foam when in contact with water, and more. If your PC is able to run 100 mods without blowing up, this is something you should try out. If you're interested. There's links in there to get into that. Yeah. I think that, you know, there's not a whole lot really to read into this. We've talked about this a lot. This is exactly kind of what my inkling has been as far as when to expect the new Nintendo hardware to come out too. So I think that it's a safe bet. I mean, here's the thing. The Switch released at like spring time of, dude, when was it? Like was it 2017 or 2016? 2017, I think. Spring of 2017? I think so, yeah. And so it's not out of the question that like Nintendo could release this early in the year, but that's not usually the play for hardware. Usually it's a like fall time release, you know. If not close to winter. So, but we've seen Nintendo release out of that time frame, but I've expected them to be sometime around summer to fall of next year, and I think that that's a safe bet. So it'll be here before we know it. And if there's anything we know about Nintendo, then the things that you can bet on here is that you won't get your backwards compatibility. If you want to play Breath of the Wild, you'll have to rebuy it for the new hardware. If 2 years from now they'll shut down the Switch eShop, you know what I mean? these are the things you can bet on with Nintendo, you know. So I don't know. But I think it's a pretty safe bet we'll get the new console at some point around this time frame of, you know, late summer, early autumn of next year, and you know, we'll find out. It's closer we get, the more we'll see, the more we'll find out. We know that there are plenty of developers that have gotten their hands on the new hardware and stuff like that, but you know, we're not going to find out about that because of non-disclosure agreements. There are no specifics we're going to get until Nintendo is ready for us to know. Nintendo's really good at keeping information um, close to home. They don't let information out unless they actually want it out. It's very hard to get information from them, which to me is fine, dude. I don't think that we should be pushing developers in a way that makes them uncomfortable. You know, they give us information when they're ready to give us information. There's no reason to rush it, in my opinion. Okay, dude. Oh my god, why? Whenever I pulled this article up initially, the first thing I did was went and pulled up what the release date of this game was, which was 2020. This is a 3-year-old game. Um just over 3 years old now. Why are they remastering a 3-year-old game? I don't understand, you know. There was already you know, you remember when they took The Last of Us Part 1 and they remastered it and everybody was like, "Well, okay, yeah, it's like a decade old game. Okay, but really what you've done with it doesn't look a whole lot better than what it did in the first place." You know, that's what a lot of people thought. I mean, me included. It looked a little bit better, but was it needed at this point? Nah, I don't really think so. You know, and really what it came off as was like a ploy by Naughty Dog to just find a really safe way to re-release a game that they knew they could make some more money off of. You know, it feels like a lot of these AAA developers have been doing this ploy a lot here lately, where they're scared to push into projects that are new. They want to try to keep, you know, remastering games or, you know, really that's what it is. They just want to keep remastering. Or in the case of Rockstar, you just port over a 13-year-old game. Don't even touch it. Port it over and make people charge $50. You know what I mean? Disgusting. But this is one of those things we see quite often right now, and it's really weird. And dude, 3-year-old game and they're remastering it. What? Why? It just I do. They've got to be either their creative minds in this company are out of juice, or they're scared to try anything new. And it sucks to see this, dude. We don't need a remaster of a 3-year-old game. And to be fair, Naughty Dog has become known as a pretty solid company, pretty solid software company, man, gaming company, developer. And to see them do this is really off-putting. The Last of Us 2 could finally be coming to PlayStation 5. A job description on a Naughty Dog developer's LinkedIn profile suggests that The Last of Us 2 Remastered is currently in development. Responsible for overseeing the production of all outsourced environment, art, assets, weapons, and interactive props for 2 iconic titles, The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us 2 Remastered. Reads the experience section for lead outsourced artist Mark Piorio. Piorio, I think is how it's pronounced. I probably butchered it. Tom Henderson had heard rumblings of the game as far back as January 2022, but didn't know anything more at the time. It was then teased again in July of this year. Of course, the news of The Last of Us 2 Remastered being in existence comes on the heels of trouble surrounding The Last of Us multiplayer game. There have also been layoffs of at least 25 employees at Naughty Dog. This is the description of the job they're trying to fill. Originally released for PS4 in June of 2020, The Last of Us Part 2 is set 5 years after the end of the first game. continues the story of Ellie as well as introduces a new character named Abby. Sony has yet to reveal or comment on the existence of The Last of Us 2 Remastered. What do you think of The Last of Us 2 Remastered being in development for PlayStation 5? I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that this game needs to be remastered to be put on the PS5. It's a safe ploy by Naughty Dog to make more money is what it is. This game didn't need to be remastered to be put on the PS5. It just needed to be ported over. There's no reason for this other than them being scared and having a quick, easy way to make more money off of people. They didn't need to do this. That's what I think. I think it feels bad. I think it's the same exact thing so many of these developers have gotten into the mindset of doing, you know. I hate to see it. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile has been pushed back to 2024. Can you knock it off? And you also. Recently, Call of Duty Mobile enjoyed extensive exposure during the Call of Duty Next showcase with developers exploring the future of the game's ecosystem at length. Call of Duty Mobile is a powerful title, and as one of the most widely downloaded mobile games in history, there's a strong audience waiting for these updates. However, following an expose that revealed Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, including the arrival of Rebirth Island on mobile devices, it was announced that the game's global release is being pushed back to spring of 2024. This is the second delay the game has suffered from. It's a sizable delay. Comes as a surprise. Call of Duty's games are rarely, if ever, postponed. Originally, Warzone Mobile was supposed to be released before the close of 2023, having been revealed in full last year's Call of Duty Next showcase, which took place in September. It's been claimed that 45 million players have pre-registered for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Given that it's a free-to-play game debuting across the most accessible gaming platform in history, it's likely to hit those numbers with no issues whatsoever. Spring 2024 it is for now. Also, if you didn't know, this weekend is popping off the Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 first beta gameplay weekend, but it is PlayStation only. So, PlayStation only this weekend. Next weekend will be all platforms, and then the release of the game is on November 10th. So it's coming, man. Next Call of Duty title. Are video games getting too long? Assassin's Creed Mirage hopes players think so. Ubisoft's latest promises a shorter runtime compared to its arguably bloated predecessors. We talked a lot about this earlier. I think that how often does the latest entry in a popular entertainment franchise promise to give you less than the one that came before it? That's the premise with Assassin's Creed Mirage. We knew they were trying to get back to their roots with this, as opposed to where Assassin's Creed had gotten to with like Valhalla, right? The latest in Ubisoft's video game franchise throws players into different historical periods. Okay, so that's the premise with Assassin's Creed Mirage, the latest in Ubisoft's video game franchise that throws players into different historical periods. After multiple entries that push the boundaries of just how open an open world game can be, Mirage promises to bring the series back to its roots for its 15th anniversary. By the way, 15 years of Assassin's Creed, and there's like 12 mainline entries, 17 spin-offs, and 11 more games in development right now. I mean, it's hard not to make people aware of that fact. Perhaps most important is its length and scope. The game takes place in 9th century Baghdad. Main storyline should take about 20 hours to complete. If you take more time to play optional missions and find hidden treasures, that could stretch it to a 30-hour adventure. It's a dramatic shift from the last 3 games in the series, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, that boasted entire countries to explore and enough content to last up to 140 hours each. Yeah. The shift resurrected questions just about just how long blockbuster budget video games should be, whether creating a game with so much content can burn out even from a series' most dedicated fans. We've seen the launch trailer. Scaling back the bloat, reviews for recent Creed games have remained generally positive, but many critics noted that their consistent growth led to a sense of bloat and fatigue. Um, yeah, so the smaller scope might prevent Mirage from fading into the background this year as well. Handful of flagship releases, Starfield, Baldur's Gate 3, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom can take 100 or more hours to play before you see everything it has to offer. Video game length has long been a topic of heated debate. With brand new games retailing for as much as $80 in Canada, some corners of the gaming community have long argued that at such a high price, a game should provide as many hours of entertainment as possible. Some even going as far as to posit an hours per dollar analysis. I'm going to touch on this in a moment. For creators making games with a narrative focus, keeping the link to something more akin to a feature film or a single season of television can make it a tailored, purposeful, designed adventure that's memorable for more than its sheer volume of content. Um, does Mirage succeed or fade away? Uh, Mirage largely benefits from a narrower scope compared to its most recent predecessors, but Ubi's dedication to tapping into the nostalgia of its earliest entries may make it puzzling to relative newcomers. At its best, Mirage evokes memories of older games in the series, roaming the crowded markets and residential streets, clambering along rooftops and stalking assassination targets. It also retains some of the series' old frustrations. Once in a while, you'll try leaping into a hiding spot only for Basm to jump on top of a building instead, alerting the guards you were trying to avoid. Um, while the briskly paced story avoids spending too much time with side plots, things move a little too fast for us to learn any more than the basic tenets of Basm's character. Despite the missteps and the writers perhaps leaving too much on the cutting room floor in the interest of a slimmer runtime, longtime fans should welcome Assassin's Creed Mirage's return to its roots. Players with busy lives can appreciate seeing the entire story without losing steam. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, look, I think, dude, it's a struggle, right? I mean, so I'm gonna go back to this paragraph here. Um, everything you know, we talk about this a lot. You're never gonna make everybody happy, right? It's a difficult. Excuse me. This is a difficult thing for developers to do. They're trying, you know, appease what they think is going to be the majority of people that are going to be playing their title, and I've talked about this sentiment a lot. There are a lot of people that play games in different fashions, in different ways. There are people that love to dive into the lore, take their time, play slowly, and immerse themselves in the games. There are people that don't care about story or lore at all, and they just want to blaze through the game. Get all they care about is the action and stuff, you know. And then there's, you know, also into consideration people that have very busy lives. They enjoy playing games, but they don't have a lot of time to devote to it, right? So when they play a game, they want to not have to devote extensive amounts of time to finishing a game, as opposed to those people that have more time to devote to playing games and enjoy the immersion and want to just have a longer gameplay experience. It everything even in between all that, you know, everything falls in there, and each respective individual and the way that they, you know, their life presents, you know, the way they enjoy their games and what life presents to them is as the amount of time they have to sink into gameplay. All of that plays into what each individual person I think is going to, you know, respectively feel about how much they're getting for how much they're paying, right? Um, but I do think that the best thing that can really be done is find ways to implement development, game development that you know allows a game player to get through the main gist of the game, the story of the game in a respectable amount of time that still feels like you're getting your money's worth. I think that's like a 25 to 35 hour time frame there, depending. But it needs to be quality content. I think we'll all agree on that. It needs to be quality content. It can't just feel stale and repetitive and whatever. It needs to be quality content, right? On the flip side of that, there needs to be options for more gameplay. I think that's the best thing a developer can do. Whether it be grinding in-game content, new game plus stuff that adds additional content when you go through the new game plus, or there are all kinds of ways to implement continuing to get more gameplay content out of a game that people are enjoying if they want more out of it. Side questing, searching out hidden things in a world, I mean, you name it. And but again, it needs to be implemented well. And so, yeah, I think that with a game like this, is that you know yeah, Pinky brings up a good point. I I don't think that I mean, yeah, they you're paying the same for a game now that people are getting through in 20 hours roughly, 20-25 hours, that they were getting hundreds of hours out of the same price tag before. Are these people that are fans of this franchise going to feel good or bad about that? I don't know. I know that there were a lot of Assassin's Creed fans that weren't real thrilled about how massively gigantic the previous games felt. And that's why Ubi has gone back to their roots of what, Assassin's Creed was in its early days and bringing that back to what Mirage is now. But I still think that it shouldn't just be AAA price tag, 20 hours, 25 hours, done, over. I think there needs to be something in there, replayability wise or, grind wise or whatever to give you a more long lasting experience for those people that do want that, those people that do want to immerse themselves in that, you know? I think that's the way it needs to be addressed. Well, I mean, bro, would you be surprised? I wouldn't. I would. I do think that a lot. We were hearing criticism for a long time in the realm of like fan base for this franchise specifically about how bloated the games had started feeling and stuff like that. And I do think that Ubi had taken a large part of that feedback and trying to get back to what Assassin's Creed was previously. But I'm sure for them it was like, oh well, this is great. We don't have to make near as much content now. I was thinking the same thing. We don't have to make near as much content now. It won't cost us as much, and we can sell it for the same price. That's a win. And our fans want that. You know what I mean? That's a slippery slope right there. New Xbox Game Pass deal gives you a free subscription. Um, let's see. New Game Pass deal gives you a free subscription. That said, you better like eating Doritos or drinking Mountain Dew and Rockstar. According to Xbox, Doritos, Mountain Dew, and Rockstar Energy Drink are some of players' favorite snacks. Whether this is true or not, Xbox doesn't present the data, but This seems to be a reasonable claim. Whatever the case, between October 9th and December 29th, Xbox players can purchase specially marked Doritos, Mountain Dew, and Rockstar Energy drink products to receive a code that offers a free 1-month subscription to Game Pass Ultimate. The catch is this offer is only available to new subscribers. If you're a current subscriber or have been a subscriber in the past, you can snack on all of these products as much as you'd like, but you're not getting free Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for it. All right. Well, there you go. If you have never had a subscription, you've been looking or thinking about getting a Game Pass subscription, and you eat Doritos, dude, you're winning. It's there in chat. There's the link. Amazon now lets you buy games on its cloud gaming service, but only Ubisoft ones. What? Amazon now lets you buy games on its cloud gaming service, but only Ubisoft. If you wanted to buy Assassin's Creed Mirage on Amazon Luna, you can do that. But interestingly, if you do that, you might also be able to play the game on another cloud service. Amazon now offers the ability to buy games on its Luna cloud gaming service, but the new feature comes with a big catch. At least for now, you'll only be able to buy select Ubi titles. For me, being the author of this, Amazon was advertising games you can buy right on the main Luna homepage, including the just released AC Mirage, which we were just talking about. However, if you end up buying an Ubi game on Luna, you'll need an Amazon Prime or a Luna Plus subscription to be able to stream that purchased game, according to an Amazon blog post about the feature. Is AC Mirage only $50, dude? It's not even on Steam, is it? Valhalla is 60. Odyssey 60. Origins is 60. Mirage is 50. Starting at 50. So, it is actually cheaper. Obviously, there's the base game, the deluxe edition, which is, the deluxe edition is just like some like cosmetic stuff. Of course, they've got like add-ons, crap like that. But it is cheaper, dude. It's $10 cheaper than the previous games are. Even still. So that's interesting. I want to look at Witchfire before we finish the news segment today too. Witchfire is supposed to be pretty good. And I didn't know that this was going to be like a roguelike game. So let's talk about this before we finish today too, okay? That's interesting. The ability to buy games is all well and good on its own. Previously, you could only play games on Luna by subscribing to specific channels. Yeah, dude. Yeah, agreed. I didn't expect that, to be honest, you know? But that's exactly what we were worried about, right? That's actually a good look, dude. I'm glad. Um, You can only play games on Luna by subscribing to specific channels of content, accessing a rotating set of games available to Prime subscribers, or playing Ubi games you already own for PC on cloud gaming service. According to Amazon, you'll be able to play the Ubi games you buy through Luna offline on your PC too. But Amazon's announcement about the new feature hints at a possibility that you can play those purchased Ubi games on other cloud services as well. Here's the line in question from Amazon's blog post, and with my emphasis. When customers purchase through Luna, they own the game license. They will be able to play on Luna or download for offline play via the Ubisoft Connect PC launcher. Since you own the game license, that language makes it seem like you can, say, buy an Ubi game on Luna, stream it for a bit on Luna, and then pick up your progress through another cloud gaming service like NVIDIA's GeForce Now. Good news. After we first published this article, Ubisoft's Jessica Roche confirmed to The Verge that you will be able to play games you buy on Luna on services like GeForce Now, though not every game supports cross progression. Amazon spokesperson Sasha Mailer declined to comment and also declined to comment when asked if it plans to let customers buy and stream non Ubisoft games at some point in the future. I would be willing to bet that they're working on that. Google offered the ability to buy games on Stadia. It's now shuttered cloud service. Interesting. Okay. Cool, man. This is the last article I have for the day. So if anybody has anything else to talk about, bring up, address for the video gaming industry that we haven't discussed today or previously or anything like that, let me know in chat. We'll address it before we move on and start playing games for the rest of the day. Okay. I will go take a look at Witchfire real quick. We'll pull up some Witchfire stuff because I'm interested in what that game's bringing to the table. So we'll touch on that real quick too. Recently, true. What up? Do what, Davey? Yo, what's up, True? Yeah, dude, we hit on that here not too long ago, man. Yeah, Weird West. Are you gonna try it? Yeah, seems like a cool game. Yeah, yeah. So it was one of those games that that's actually a Devolver Digital published game. I'm pretty sure, and I love Devolver. And Weird West looked like a game last year. I think it released last year. I was really interested in playing that, but when it came out, there were some issues of optimization. Like it wasn't running real well. It had some bugs and stuff, and I ended up not playing it on release. But I think they've probably fixed a lot of that stuff now. And if you end up playing it, dude, let me know what you think. What did Weird West end up Metacriticing at? I don't think it was great. Like maybe around a 70, high 60s. But the game looks dope, dude. Okay. Mid 70s actually. Nice, dude. Nice, nice. Uh PC 76, Xbox One at 81, PS4 73. Yeah, dude. Solid. Nice. Pretty sure this is Devolver, right? Yeah, Devolver published game. Yep, yep. Yeah. Let me know what you think, dude, because this looked like a really cool game to me too, buddy. Yeah. If you end up grabbing this and playing this, man, let me know what you think about this. It looks really neat to me. I was kind of sketched out by some of the early reviews I was seeing from people and stuff. Um, Pretty funny thing. A few days ago, I bought this 3 liter package. What I thought was tea on the packaging was a large glass jug with a red drink, some apples with oranges floating in it. Looks like I have a ton of wine at home now. Let's go, dude. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Nice. Yo, are you playing today? Are you going to play some of this with me? Yeah. I didn't even know who all had this game. I tried to find if I could see any sales anywhere. Um, and I didn't see any sales anywhere for Killing Floor 2. But I figured I would just try it out yeah. Okay, word. Yeah, yeah. I forgot to push out any kind of notification last night either, but I was looking around. I just didn't see anything. It won't be the only community game we play, so just know that, okay? I don't want people dropping. So I hope we are. Psych. No, nope. Here's the other thing, yo. So if you guys have Epic Games, you know what I mean. There's the potential for us to like play around and do some like Evil Dead stuff too, if you guys have that. Because I played Evil Dead last year, and I'd be willing to play it again. The game was a lot of fun, dude. I had a lot of fun playing Evil Dead, and so if you guys have that, we could maybe get into that a little bit too. I just wanted to wait until Steam maybe got some sales going on before people started trying to buy into stuff, you know, because the sales are probably coming pretty quick. I just don't want community members spending a whole bunch of money just trying to get in on some like weekend gameplay stuff right now and everything. I don't want you guys being out cash for just limited gameplay experience stuff, you know. So we'll do Killing Floor 2 today. We could get some Evil Dead stuff going. That game was fun. I don't know. We'll keep talking as we move through the day, okay? And we'll figure out some different community game horror games to play around with and mess around with over the coming weeks and everything, okay? But yeah, today and probably tomorrow we'll do some Killing Floor stuff. Yeah. Um, I'd like to get into it more than I have. Only the very beginning. Have Cyberpunk, Borderlands Journey, juggle 3 or 4, maybe 5 games. Yeah, I feel like that's where I've gotten here lately. Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. I've got games I've got to go back and finish. And dude, yeah, true. Yeah, for sure. That's what. Yeah, it sucks, dude. I couldn't find it on sale anywhere. You know, it's kind of brutal. Because I would love to have you in there, playing it with us. You know, you're a lot of fun to play games with and everything. So, um, but like I said, we'll keep looking at some other games to play as we keep moving forward with Scaretober and stuff for the weekends. We'll get as many people in on different games as possible. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. It's a different viewpoint though, right? The Weird West stuff is more of a like a top down kind of viewpoint, right? But yeah, I can the art style and everything. Yeah, I can kind of remember that in my mind's eye. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, true. Yeah, for sure, man. You're a lot of fun to play games with, dude. So I want to get you in on some of this stuff with us. All right. So we'll take a look at the Witchfire stuff. Give me 1 second. Yeah, Weird West, dude. Cool. Let me know, Davey. That's awesome, man. Brother, what? Okay, so here's the last thing I really have, guys. I thought this was already going to basically be done, finished, summed up, if you will. But it's looking like as early as October 13th, the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard should be finalized. So we knew that the last big hurdle was the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, and they got over that entire predicament at the end of last month. So that was their last final hurdle, and I really figured because I figured they were going to be trying to close this real, maybe even before October if they could, but as early in October as possible because the date that had been extended for them to get this done by Activision Blizzard is somewhere here in October. I can't remember exactly where it is, but if they don't finalize the deal by that date, then they basically have to pay Activision Blizzard like $4 billion or something. It's really wild. So they this is in a new extended date. It was supposed to be somewhere in July, and they knew that Microsoft was trying to get this done, but there were some hurdles, so they came to an agreement to extend it to October, which is where we are now. And if they don't hurry up and get this done, then they're going to be getting basically fined about $4 billion or whatever by Activision Blizzard. But everybody's like, well, isn't that who they're buying anyways? And it's like, well, yeah. So it's more of like something that's put into place to keep companies from backing out, but it's still a legal binding agreement, which would just throw a wrench into everything, you know, with them having to like pay that company that money and then buy them also on top of it. So it's like they would get it back, but it would just, you know, they need to get it done before that date hits, I think is what the situation is. God dang, dude, quit doing that. The FTC, which was, you know, the big hurdle here in the US for Microsoft in acquiring Activision Blizzard, that got taken care of what? July, I think they got through that one finally. And the FTC is in the process of trying to appeal that, but I don't think it's been going too well for them. But dude, I've said the whole time from the very beginning of us finding out about this potential acquisition here, I thought it was going to happen, and I mean we're about there, and so roughly another week, and it looks like this is going to be done and finished. And the next thing that has to happen is Bobby Kotick's got to be fired. You know what I mean? All right, let's look at this witch fire stuff. Have you guys seen this game? So let me show you the trailer real quick. Oh, nice, Davey. Cool, man. Nice.
In a distant territory controlled by one of the witches,
so let's watch this trailer real quick, and we'll try to bring up some reviews. Apparently, this is like early access right now.
It carried a valuable artifact, one that could alter the course of the conflict.
Is it too loud?
To recover it, the Vatican has dispatched one of its best witch hunters.
Maybe it did full release at this point, but I think it's still early access.
Hunters like him are called prayers, and the substance running through his veins that gives him arcane powers is
not too loud. Okay, cool. Thanks, Drew.
As witch fire. When you reach your destination, you're completely exhausted. There's very little witch fire left in your blood. One of the first things you must do is replenish your powers. The fastest way to do it is to fight the witch's minions, ghouls and wraiths. Once they're dead, the witch fire they were made of will be yours. However, this won't be an easy prey. The world of witch fire is a place where everything is trying to kill you. Monsters prowl the area. Treasure chests turn out to be deadly traps, and lethal contraptions stay hidden from view. If you waste bullets, ignore your stamina, and take your opponents for granted, you will die. And this can happen in a myriad more ways. Getting killed means that you lose all your loot, although it's possible to recover it, and the monsters you've eliminated come back from the dead. What's even worse, once the witch senses the powerful intruder who hasn't died so far, she will start throwing deadly curses at you, called the Calamities.
Anybody takes my loot, I'll be right back there to loot that booty, and they won't like it.
For your soul.
Hey, what happened?
She will stop at nothing to drag you out of her realm. And if this doesn't work and you still brazenly cling to life,
that wasn't my fault, dude.
More power and a greater arsenal.
It's PlayStation's
the witch will dispatch new types of minions and set traps, the likes of which you have not seen. The world will change, adapting to your progress. This means more witchfire to collect, but also more challenges to conquer. You find refuge in an old hermitage, enveloped in a fog that hides you from the witch's sight. From here, you will venture into her domain, trying to find the villain's lair. An enchanted mirror allows you to receive amazing inventions from the Vatican's gunsmiths. Here, you can also transform the witchfire collected along the way into skills that become more and more powerful. This transformation does more than simply make you stronger. You also gain understanding of how magic works. Without this knowledge, many places remain inaccessible, and many magical objects are nothing more than a piece of paper with strange scribblings or a simple shard of iron. Let's examine this weapon, made for the prayer in the Vatican workshop. If you're unable to see through its esoteric shroud, it looks like a regular rifle. The more witchfire courses through your veins, the more secrets reveal themselves to you. For instance, it turns out that the aforementioned rifle can hit several enemies with a single shot. This is how things are in this world, where common folk see nothing but a regular weapon, a seal with strange symbols, or a beautiful ring.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I always thought it looked okay, but I didn't know what. I just figured it was
one of the 4 elements, or magical signals.
Kill some monsters. You know what I mean? It's actually a roguelike game, and
the prayer's task is simple.
Apparently, the gameplay. This development team is a small development team. I'm talking like somewhere around like 9 to 12 people or something like that. So this is a small development team, which is also very cool. And apparently the gameplay feels really good. It's something along the lines of what you would find in like a modern game.
Some of these implements are called the Arcana. Crystals that are created from witchfire.
It's a roguelike, which is one of my favorite genres as well.
If ever so slightly. Will you enhance your spells with new abilities?
The one thing I've heard is that maybe it's a little bit lacking on content right now.
Perhaps you will prefer to improve your
in early access at least
for a short while.
But
still, the most powerful force the prayer can wield is not a weapon, a spell, a magical object.
Apparently it looks very good, it feels very good.
It's the freedom. When you embark on your journey, you set your own goals. Would you like to find and defeat the guard keeping watch over the witch's keys?
Oh, really?
Right ahead.
That's weird, Davey.
What
does food do for you,
some gold and
do you just have like a hunger, or is it just for health, or what's the deal with food?
Why don't you test a new weapon and collect enough witchfire to develop another skill? There's nothing stopping you. Every step you make during your journey marks a choice. You can rush into a huge mob of enemies and try to execute them in a frenzied dance of death, or opt for eliminating them one by one from afar. Steering clear from a fight is an option, as is provoking more.
Let's just keep pausing. I'm not like downloading anything, dude. What is happening?
More fights for bigger rewards. This freedom means that there isn't just one correct method to
pulling this video out of
witch.
Epic servers or something.
The prayer is not bound by time restrictions, and the Vatican doesn't care what methods he employs. A sharpshooter's agile fingers, a tactician's analytical mind, or special powers and magical objects. You can pick, choose, and match freely to achieve your goal. These are the bare bones of witchfire. Discovering the rest is
a pretty good trailer right there, dude. I like that.
But here's a final thought. The witch knows that the prayers are immortal. Her goal is not to kill you. Her goal is to take away your belief that she could be defeated. When faced with hardship, you decide whether to give in to despair or get back on your feet and resume the fight.
That's what I thought too, True. That's so funny, dude. Yeah, I thought the same exact thing, True. That's so funny. I could hear the whistle, dude. I could hear that whistle, man. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, the game looks dope. So we've read a couple of early reviews. Yeah, early access out now, right? So There's some other trailers on here and stuff too. I'll link this for you if you guys want to take a look at it. I'm so glad they finally did that on Epic. They made it to where I can link stuff out of here now. So it's got a 4.6 reviews on right now out of 4.6 out of 5 on Epic, but you know their review system isn't the same as like Steam. So I don't think Metacritic has anything because it's still early access. Hold on. Yo,
The
hush your
war
mouth,
rages
dude. Let's see this. Yeah. Yeah, it's so there's some early critic reviews. There's some critic reviews of the early access stuff, which are come from like late September, mid to late September. So I'll link this if you guys want to read what they're saying. It's kind of what I've already expressed to you, you know, that the game feels pretty good. It's got a really good core to it. It might need a little bit more fleshing out, a little bit more content and stuff, but it's looking really promising right now. And again, I think you know it's the developer and publisher of both the astronauts, and this is a team of like roughly give or take 10 people, from what I understand, which is pretty awesome, dude. And overall, this is looking like a pretty enjoyable experience here. So I'm gonna keep track of this, and who knows, we might dive in here a little bit later, maybe once this hits full release or something. You know, really interested in this. Yeah, I love my roguelikes, man. Very cool. So it's, the game's linked right there in chat if you want to check it out on the Epic page. Okay. Yay, yay. Cool, man. Happy flipping Saturday. Hope everybody's weekend's going well, dude. Let's get some tunes popping off while I segue us into the gaming content. Well, you know, a bit of a break. You know how we do, man. And then the gaming content. So we're gonna go play some Killing Floor 2. We'll have some fun with that, trying that out today. Do a little bit of some horror community gameplay stuff. It looks like Pinky's gonna get in there. We'll see who else. Ferret was saying he might play some today if he comes around. We'll see who else we can get in there, man. We'll have some good times though. So you guys rock, dude. Thanks for the awesome news segment this morning. As always, we're going to move on and play some video games for the rest of the day like we always do, man. If anybody's been hanging out that's not familiar with our content here in our community, this is what we always do, man. This is our jam. We always we stream 6 days a week. The channel's live 6 days a week. We always kick it off with video gaming news every single day. This is how we begin our streams. We just try to stay current, pulling up articles on what's gone on in the industry, video gaming industry over the past 24 hours. Trying to stay current and up to date with what's going on, flesh out these ideas together as a community of passionate gamers, man. That's what it's about. And then when we finish up around this time, 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday, we move on and play games for the rest of the day like we're about to do right now. So whether you're seeing this live or maybe as a VOD later on, know that all of our previous content, the video gaming news segments, all of the gameplay playthroughs we've done, funny, fun clips and highlights, stuff like that, all that content is on the Twitch channel as well as the YouTube page. So go check that out. If you're enjoying the content, come hang out with us, man. We got an awesome community of people that are part of what we do here. And we're always looking for more people that are passionate about the world of video games, that are also just good vibes, chill peeps, that are, you know, wanting to be part of something wholesome. And you know, if that's something that you see yourself being acclimated to, then I think you'd probably have a good time here. So come be a part of it, man. We're always looking for more people to enjoy and become part of what we do here. All right. So I don't know. Other than that, dude, again, happy Saturday. Hope everybody's weekend's going well. We're going to go play some video games now, but we'll do more video gaming news tomorrow on October 8th. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind if you're not moving on to the gameplay with us. And I'll see you in just a bit.